Hello and welcome to Rule of Three's video review for Assassin's Creed Unity for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 from Ubisoft. So this is the one of two new entries into the franchise this year, and for those of you who don't know, I like Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is one of my favorites. Assassin's Creed 2 being my favorite personally. And I was really, excited for Unity to some extent because I like the French Revolution time period. The multiplayer kind of looked fun, and I was looking forward to playing this. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the most painful reviews I'm going to do or have done in a long time because of bugs, errors, glitches, and other things in this game that have generally bugged the crap out of me.
What's our plan?
Our plan. You're not an apprentice anymore, boy. So study your surroundings. Devise your own plan. I'm not here to hold your hand.
The story of Assassin's Creed Unity follows Arnaud, a French orphan who joins the assassins after his adoptive father is killed by the Templars. His adoptive father also ends up being a Templar, and his own father, an assassin, killed years prior. The time frame is the French Revolution, both, when it's just starting as to, the years of terror and all that stuff. On the whole, the story just feels too familiar. It really feels like they tried to do what they did with Assassin's Creed 2 story in terms of overall narrative, character development, motives, and it doesn't feel like a new story. Even the things in the modern day period are not that great, whereas Black Flag, I mean, you can rail on Assassin's Creed story all day. I did enjoy the little brief time periods to go into the modern day and explore the story that's going on in modern day with Abstergo. You get that, but only in cutscenes, and it doesn't really, the overarching narrative doesn't really come into play into this one as much, even though they try to. It just doesn't feel as as good as it was in previous games, and falls a little bit more flat. Arnaud really just feels like a copy of Ezio, except instead of being, really, really rich in the beginning, he's he's still really rich in the beginning, but he's, a ward instead of, a full-grown adult who loses everything. He's just a kid who loses everything and ends up being adopted. Otherwise, his characteristics, his personality are very, very similar to Ezio. The storyline is very similar to Assassin's Creed 2 Revenge plot. It just feels overly familiar, and it doesn't really do anything new or really push the overall narrative forward.
That man has lost a foot. Now you can charge in there, cause a great disturbance, and send all the rats scurrying back to their holes. Or you can disappear into the swarm and follow the rats back to their king.
Gameplay for Unity has some very good ups, but a lot of really big downs. First off, I'm going to go over ups. Other than the normal Assassin's Creed things, they added 3 new experiences to this game. The one that they were touting was multiplayer. You can team up with 2 to 4 assassins to take multiplayer missions. These missions are pretty fun and require you to work together in order to take down whatever your assassination target is. And they're pretty enjoyable when I wasn't encountering glitches and bugs. I'll talk about that later. Multiplayer is fun. Another new thing they added are the time anomalies. These range from the 1800s to World War II in different settings. Also really fun, really interesting to see how those worked. You can redo them and do kind of like challenges where you have to collect points and save trapped assassins to get money. That's pretty fun and enjoyable. And the last new thing they added were investigation missions where you have to figure out murder cases. You'll be given a case, you look at clues, investigate witnesses, and it's up to you to put the clues together and convict the right person, because you can pick the wrong person in this. And it really is, pretty, there's only a couple, maybe 1 or 2, that, it kind of holds your hand and kind of leads you to the right answer. But after that, they get fairly difficult, and you really have to think about your clues and who's the right killer. Those 3 things added to the Assassin's Creed formula work great, and they're good additions to the game. However, everything else is pretty much the same. Combat is practically the same. The only thing they really changed was you can't instant kill on parry. That's really the only thing they really changed. Otherwise, it's the exact same flow. So it's still kind of clunky and kind of weird. Getting around They also added a downward parkour, which is a great way to get down when it works. Because my biggest issue with Assassin's Creed Unity are bugs and glitches. This game is so buggy and so glitchy that I had troubles playing this game, to be honest. Like, it was painful. Whether my character's, glitching through a floor after descending a building or into a balcony and not be able to move, or the frame rate just like, normally I don't care about frame rates being 30 for 60. But when I notice frame rate issues, it's a big issue. And there are so many frame rate issues when you get into large crowds or going down or going up that it's barely playable at this point in time, in my opinion, for the most part. Like, you can do things in this game, but it's so glitchy and buggy at this point in time that it's not worth going through that. Other issues I have with this game are there are chests in this game. There are basically 4 types of chests. You have your normal white chests, which you just go and open. Red chests, you have to have a certain lock picking skill. Fine with those ones. And the other 2 are Nomad and Initiate chests. Nomad, you have to download a stupid app and play another mini game on that to unlock those chests. And the other ones are Initiates, which you have to go to Uplay, sign up, and do a bunch of other crap for that. By far, when I pay for a $60 game or somebody pays for a $60 game, I should be able to play and unlock everything in this game without having to rely on a companion app or having to sign up for something outside of the game. It's just like Destiny and the Grimoire, which on the companion app, which I think is stupid. This game commits an even worse atrocious sin, which is in order to finish the game, 100% the game, you have to do those 2 things and do what those 2 things ask of you. Worst thing possible. On top of that, microtransactions are in this game in order to quickly unlock weapons and upgrade them. And the way the economy in this game works is it wants you to buy the microtransactions. Ubisoft has come out and said you don't need to unlock them, you just play normally. But in order to get some of the best weapons and gear, you're going to be playing for 2-3 weeks nonstop just to unlock one thing out of the 10-12 items that you're going to need for one thing. Plus then you have to upgrade that item, making the microtransactions the most logical thing to do. Something that I do not want in a full game and should not be an issue. If you want to do microtransactions, fine. But make it so that the rest of the game, I can really do it and get 100% within a week. Especially just unlocking, the monetary stuff. Like even Black Flag, you had the ship thing. And that took a while, but I was able, they weren't mandatory to unlock the best armor or best weapons. This game, you do. And it's stupid. And it really drives me nuts every time seeing these chests and going, nope, can't get it because I don't want to download a companion app because I don't want that on my phone. Or I don't want to sign up for Uplay's Initiate thing. That's bullcrap. There's just so many issues with glitches and things Ubisoft did with this game that it drives me nuts. The really only good things about this game are really the 3 things I mentioned at the very beginning of this segment. That's really it. It's hard to find any other positives in this game. The side quests are okay, but it's really getting hard to justify some of the things that they did in this game because they really can't. And they shipped a broken game, in my opinion, and I just don't know. It should not have been this way, to be honest. And I'm really mad at Ubisoft for doing this to this game. Other things in this game, gameplay-wise, that I can think of are collectibles all around town. Those are okay as long as you can figure out. There's a new system for how you unlock abilities instead of it just you get your stuff and you can go, whatever, or have to get so far in the storyline. You now have to get so far in the storyline and have enough kind of what are called sync points to unlock, abilities like throwing the money pouch or double assassination or double aerial assassination, stuff like that. That system's okay. It just feels weird because when I play Assassin's Creed games, I like to do all the side stuff on the as I'm going, and with this one you can't really do that because you're forced to do the storyline to a certain point so you can unlock the skills that you're going to need to do some of the side missions a little bit easier, or even do them period and unlock things. That's the only downside to that system. It's the same with weapons and upgrading them. It's just kind of like not really there. I know why it's there for the multiplayer aspect, but it still just doesn't quite fit how Assassin's Creed should feel. And it's really disappointing, in terms of gameplay, because Black Flag was really good in terms of gameplay and innovating. Unity just takes it back like 2 steps backwards, a step to the right, a diagonal 1 forward, left 3 inches, and then like dances in place and just goes, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And yeah, that's my end of rant on gameplay segments of Assassin's Creed Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity is probably one of the worst Assassin's Creed games to come out. From its bugs and glitches to its terrible microtransaction upgrade system and having to do stuff outside of the game on a companion app, really make this game very, very bad in general. However, its redeeming qualities in multiplayer and the investigation missions, as well as just the overall assassination gameplay, is still fun to play, and I'm giving this game a rent verdict, even though it's very close to a pass, to be honest. The other reason I'm giving rent is because once they patch some of these issues, I mean, it should be good to go. It just shouldn't be that way on launch because it's really disappointing. But it's not definitely one of the worst Assassin's Creed games to come out. So that's it for this review. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Check out ruler3.com for all the news and updates posted. I'm doing also an editorial Wednesday, so I'll be posting a large editorial post on stuff in the gaming industries that are either bugging me or that I like, starting next week, possibly, or when I get, or in a couple weeks. It just depends on my vacation. Like us on Facebook and Twitter, all that fun stuff. Go to ruler3.com. Tell your friends. And until next time, always remember to trust in the rule of 3.